Good morning. All right. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am than I will be. I am all that I am. And the songs of all my great-grandmothers and the dreams of all my great-grandfathers and the ways to rise beyond the pain all live, all live, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the smiles of all the unborn children and the dreams of a better day to come, and the dance with heaven, with the earth, all live, all live, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. All that I am. All that I am.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto, to our Sunday service. For those of you here in the sanctuary and joining us online, live or later in the week, you are all welcome here. For those of you who may be new to Unity Palo Alto, we want you to know that Unity is part of a global movement. We are not just here in Palo Alto, we are all around the world. We welcome people from all different walks of life, all faith traditions, and anywhere on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If you are new, we want you, and you might be looking for a greater experience of spirit in your life, perhaps more purpose or more spiritual or personal growth. Unity is a place for you, and you are welcome. We teach positive, practical principles that you can apply every day to do life better. The song that we started with is just a little example of that. To live as the person that you truly are, of who you really are, and to bring that forth out into the world. So we'll get to look forward to doing a little more of that today and carrying that with you into the week. So happy to have with us today Brenna Franzen as our platform leader. Margot Leduc is our soloist. And we have Russell Norman and Rob Tracy on drums. We also got Felix and also Rob helping with sound in the background. So we have a wonderful service ahead of us. And we will start with our opening song. So please join me and stand for our opening song.
Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, 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 grateful.
Good morning, Unity Palo Alto. Happy allergy season. I'm Brenna Franson, and so excited and grateful, very, very grateful to be back with you here today. And I know the question that you're all asking, Brenna, do you have a picture of your baby with a Unity Palo Alto onesie on? Yes, I do. Meet me in the courtyard afterward. I'll be happy to share with you all that are here. All right, welcome to Unity Palo Alto's Sunday service. We are a part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education that helps people of all walks of life practice practical spiritual principles, and we help everyone live a more joyful and abundant life. Unity is a spiritual movement. We're welcoming, inclusive, and wherever you are on your path, you are welcome here. We have 5 core principles that help guide us on that path. The first principle is God is. There is only one power active in the universe and in our lives. That is God, the good, omnipotent. The second principle is God is the substance and intelligence innate in every person and all of creation. Our third principle, thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect our world. And our fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation. This connects us with the creative, constructive power of God to work in and through us every day. And our fifth principle is that daily practice. As we practice these principles, we express more of the divine within us, and life gets better. These 5 core principles guide us in living our vision statement, and I will invite you to affirm our vision statement with me. Together, centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. We now continue with our service with a call to worship.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am free.
And now a reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is pray for others. I'll read the affirmation and then invite you to affirm it with me. As I pray, I affirm the activity of God in your life and mine. Together, as I pray, I affirm the activity of God in your life and mine. I am honored by the trust of those who ask me to pray with them. Whatever I am asked to pray about, my responsibility is always the same, to recognize all qualities of God are active, even in the most challenging circumstances. I remain steadfast in affirming this truth. If I have been asked to pray for healing, I release all thought of illness. I affirm divine life is active in every cell. I see harmony and perfect function restored. If I am praying for abundance, I entertain no thought of lack. I affirm divine wisdom, love, and understanding guiding the one with whom I pray to make wise and prospering choices. As I affirm truth for all who have asked for prayer, my awareness of God's activity in my life increases also. And our scripture is from 3 John chapter 1, verse 2. Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you and that you may be in good health, just as it is well within your soul. And now a solo from Margot.
You call me out upon the water, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand, and I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Oh,
It's 2019, no, 2017, Christmas time. And I'm walking into church because I've joined the choir to sing during the Christmas season. It's a church that I've been attending for 10 years, and it's this really pleasant experience walking in. The church is decorated for Christmas. There's greens, there's flowers, there's people I know. And I'm looking forward to singing over the Christmas time. This is the church I've been attending now for, as I mentioned, for 10 years, and recently I've been splitting the time there because I'm recently divorced, and my ex-wife and I have agreed that she will attend one Sunday, I'll attend the next Sunday, and we'll alternate to share the time. The choir, of course, sings every Sunday. So Christmas time, I figure, hey, this is great. It's a little exception, but it's going to be fine. So I let my wife know, my ex-wife know, that this is what I'm going to be doing. She's not very happy with this situation, so responds by email and expresses her dissatisfaction and copies the minister of the church. The minister of the church chimes in and takes her side in the argument, saying, you know, it's really probably best if you don't come on the Sundays that you're not supposed to be coming. I'm angry. I really don't like this situation. I'm frustrated. I feel like people are stacking up against me. Fortunately, at this point in my life, I know enough not to respond right away. I've learned that lesson. So I wait. And the next day, I still have one thought that keeps coming to mind. It's time to leave. I finished singing over the Christmas period, and January comes around, and fortunately, I'm in actually a new, exciting relationship. And we decide that it's time to take that relationship to the next level and find a place that we can enjoy our spiritual practice together. So we pick a church and we go visit it. Then we walk out and we say, oh, that was fine. And the next Sunday, we pick a new church and we go to visit. Same experience, and we do another one. And then the last Sunday in January, we walk into a place and we sit down and we look around and we say, there's kind of a cool vibe in this place. I like the energy. The music is good. We stay for the service, and the talk is good, and there's a really nice message. And at the end of the service, everybody stands up, holds hands, and comes to the center aisle and sings a song, the final song, together. And to look around in people's eyes, it's like they're glowing. There's this energy in the room that is just both inspiring and opening, and honestly, a little intimidating. So the service ends, and we rush out the back door, but not before I grab the monthly newsletter that's in the pew. I take that with me, and my girlfriend is driving home, and she gets in the car and starts driving, and so I'm flipping through this newsletter, and there's a section in the newsletter on activities at the spiritual center. So I start looking at it, and one of them is a class, living the art and practice of living as if nothing and no one is against you. Now, in that moment, it comes to mind, how did I even end up here? Because there were people against me in the last church, at least it sure felt that way, and that was enough to get me out the door. And here I am with a class to learn the art and practice of living as if nothing and no one is against me. It felt like it was meant to be. Well, some of you, I think there's a little nodding and some recognition that that place I was describing is here, Unity Palo Alto. Some of the traditions changed during COVID, but we have continued to come back, and way back in the January of 2018, we did sign up for that class, the art of practice of living as if nothing and no one is against you. And I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot from the class, but I do remember one key thing. It was this idea of a cue card. And Q stands for quantum. That's not particularly important. But what the cue card is a list of values and attributes that defines who are you when you are at your best. When you are living from that place of spiritual abundance, that place of magnificence that we all have inside of us. For those of you who were here last week, you heard Reverend John talk about this, and he shared some of his values, some of the words that are on his cue card. He talked about love, wholeheartedness, peace. So I'm going to invite you to bring to mind one word for you that could represent a value or a principle or a way that you show up in the world when you are living as your best self. So come, bring a word to mind. It doesn't have to be the one and only. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're like me, you're probably like, oh my gosh, one word. How am I going to get the one word that encapsulates all of the meaning of life? Don't make the bar that high. Just make it easy on yourself and pick a word that for you represents the best of yourself. I'll share one that I have picked. One of my words is faith. Not a faith in a belief in some abstract thing, but a faith as a reminder of those first two principles that Brenna shared earlier this morning. God is. There is one power and presence everywhere active in the universe. It is all goodness, all creation, oneness. It is the power of life that is everywhere present. And the second principle that I am, that's not some power out there. It's in me. It is me. I am a representation of that. And faith to me is remembering that more and more in my daily life. So that's my word, faith, that I'm going to share. And I'm going to invite all of us here in the sanctuary and all of you watching online, whether you're doing this live with us now or later in the week, I'm going to invite you all to share that one word out loud. Now, if you're like me, thank you, but hold on a second. I'm going to give you some instruction. I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going to ask you to share it. But if you're like me, you may have a tinge of anxiety, oh, you're asking me to share this publicly? Well, I want to remind you of 2 things. Number 1 is everyone's going to share their word at one time. So there's going to be a cacophony of sound. You likely won't hear the people around you. They won't even hear you. Everyone's going to share their word together. And second reminder, no one is against you. This is an opportunity to put your goodness out into the world. All right, so hang on, one more thing. I'm going to just demonstrate this. Don't say anything yet. I'm going to demonstrate it so we all get the timing right. You know, have you ever done rock, scissors, paper and someone goes early because, what do you mean on 3? So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, faith. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, ready? All together now. 1, 2, 3, faith. Awesome. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good to put that out there in the world? All right. Now, I want you, in contrast to that, to just think for a moment of a situation in your life where it feels like someone or something is against you, where there's a little rub, a little bit of friction. Now, you may not want to pick something, and I actually encourage you not to pick something similar to the story I shared, because that was kind of a big deal, right? But pick something smaller that's happened in the last few days or the last week. This could be getting in the car to go somewhere important and realize the gas tank is empty. Oh, I got to go get gas. It could be being in a rush at the grocery store and the person doing the checkout has a problem and you have to wait longer than you expected to. It could be coming home to find that someone else in your household didn't do the dishes and the kitchen is a mess and you have to deal with that. It's, this scale of thing. But think of something in your life in the last few days that feels like there's something against you. Everybody have something in mind? Just a little idea? I see a few of you do. All right. Well, we're going to do the same exercise that we did just a moment ago, but I'm going to, instead of saying a cue card quality, something that represents the best of you, I want you to say a word that represents what does it feel like when the world is against you? What does it feel like when something happens that's not what you want to happen? Do you have some frustration, disappointment, anger, resentment? I'll say for me, in that situation I described at the beginning of the talk, I felt angry. And that's how I felt in that moment. So I'm going to invite you all to think about one of those situations, pick a word that describes how you feel in that situation, and share it with us out loud on the count of 3. Is everyone ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Angry. All right, now just pause for a moment and notice how you feel in this moment. Right? We just identified with that feeling of angry or frustration or disappointment. We're buying into that story that someone or something is against us. And that is your clue. It's your clue whenever you feel that way to remember, oh, hold on a second. I'm living as if someone or something is against me. And it becomes an opportunity to reset. Contrast that feeling that you just had right now with how you felt a moment ago when we all declared our cue card. I can tell you, I don't know if you guys can sense this, but standing up here when all those words come at me, first, the cue card qualities, love, faith, belief, gratitude. Secondly, the feelings when it feels like something's against you, frustration, disappointment, anger, resentment. I can feel the difference. Can you? Yeah. So living as if nothing and no one against you is about that difference. Because the truth is, we all have inside of us those cue card qualities all the time. Think about an ocean in the storm. Deep down, nothing is moving. It's still. And at the surface, there's storms, there's waves, there's wind. Everything is churning around. That can happen in our lives, where deep down, we have that sense of peace and calm. And at the surface, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. So how do you relate to life? Do you buy into the noise, or do you remember in that moment there is a deeper place that is available to you? It is you. It's who you are. It's inside of you all the time. So this is your opportunity. In those moments when you recognize, oh, I don't like that feeling, that's your clue to reset, to reconnect with that deeper part of you. 2 weeks ago, the beginning of April, I walked in to a place called Spirit Rock. Some of you may have heard of that. It's a retreat center in Northern California. And it's in Marin County, and I'm walking in, and it is a beautiful spring day. Blue skies, sunshine, and the setting is phenomenal. Rolling hills, and because it's spring and then we've had so much rain, the hills are all green. There's poppies coming up at various places. To just be there in that moment felt so peaceful. I'm walking in for day 1 of a 7-day silent meditation retreat. We're not technically silent yet, but none of us really knows what's going on. There's a little awkwardness. I've never done this before, so I'm walking in, I'm kind of acknowledging people, but not really chatting with them, because I don't know, am I supposed to talk to them? Am I supposed to be silent? I don't really know. So I go in and I go to the registration, and part of this experience is that we all get a work assignment during the week. So you get to meditate while you're sitting, you get to meditate while you're walking, and you get to meditate while you do this chore. In the literature I read beforehand, it sounds like, chopping vegetables, sweeping the floor, these kinds of things that can be kind of repetitive, that I can see myself getting into meditation while I'm sweeping the floor. So I'm waiting in line to go through the registration process, and now I'm first in line, and I'm just over here slightly the person in front of me, and the person in front of me is having a discussion with the person who's giving out the volunteer assignments. And it sounds like there's a little negotiation going on. And I'm thinking to myself, I read the instructions before I came here, and the instructions were pretty clear of this principle, which is, because this is a Buddhist place, one of the Buddhist principles is to take what is offered. And that applied to, if you had a roommate, to take what is offered. And when you get a work assignment, to take what is offered. So I'm honest, I've got a little judgment. I was like, hey, this guy didn't read the instructions. Take what's offered. So I get up and I'm like, well, I'm going to do this better than he did. I get up to the front of the line, and this person says, well, we've got some work assignments available, and what we really need is someone to clean the bathroom. Of all the chores, definitely my least favorite. In that moment, you know what I want to do? Negotiate. I don't want to clean the bathroom. But I remember, take what's offered. And so I practice that, and I say yes. The person goes on to say, well, in fact, in the dorm where you're staying, we've already got some volunteers, so I need you to leave your dorm and go down the hill to this other dorm and clean their bathroom. Well, it gets better. Okay. The next day, it's time to clean the bathroom. So I go down the hill, and as I'm walking down the hill, what I discover is that this is a women's dorm. Now, this has two problems for me. One is I don't like to clean the bathroom to begin with. But second of all, there's something that just grosses me about hair in the drain. And women tend to have longer hair than men, so there's going to be more hair in the drain. And secondly, I have to walk into the woman's bathroom. What if there's someone in there? What is she going to say to me? No, it's a silent retreat. She's not going to say anything. She's going to look at me funny. And then how do I respond? Because I'm only here because you didn't volunteer to clean the bathroom. And I have to walk down the hill to come here, and oh my gosh, where have I gone? Here I am on a silent meditation retreat, and I'm yelling in an argument in my head. Nothing and no one against you. We can create it out of nothing, out of these small things. The beauty of this, I got to practice living as if nothing and no one is against me for 7 days. At least 5 of them, I had that same argument going on in my head as I walked down there. And I had to remember, there's noise in the world. The noise doesn't go away, but there's something deeper in me. And it's the ability to connect with that something deeper and to reset into it. That's what matters. So the question is, the situation doesn't change, but what if I approached that situation from the better part of myself, from that cue card quality, from faith, from a belief that nothing and no one is against me? How would I handle it then? As I mentioned, I got to practice that, and by the end of the week, I finally got there. I was able to go down and practice and clean the bathroom and not be arguing with myself in my head and not rush through it so I could get done and get out of there, but actually got to this place where, I kind of understand this idea of work meditation. I kind of got there. But it takes practice. Last week, John shared 3 tools that we can use Jews in his talk about nothing and no one against you. Number one was this idea of above the line and below the line. And it's kind of what we're talking about with these different experiences of life. Are you above the line, meaning you're connected with that sense of abundance and joy and faith and love inside of you? Or are you below the line, which is you're reacting and responding to the things that are going on around you, like I was in my head? The second tool is to remember your why, to remember that cue card quality, to remember that value of who you are, and to carry that forward into the world. And the third tool he shared was judge not. Because when we're judging other people, you know that that's coming right back at you from yourself. So let go of the sense of judgment. I had to let go of the fact that the people in that dormitory didn't volunteer to clean their bathroom, and that's okay. They were doing the best that they could, and I got to practice doing the best that I could. So I want to try a little experience with all of you, which is to practice connecting with that sense of goodness inside of you. And it's going to be a pretty simple experience, but I'm going to invite you now to think about 3 things in your life, 3 situations in your life that are positive experiences. That's all. Pretty simple. I'm sure you have many more than 3, but come up with 3 that are positive experiences in your life that you can remember and that give you a sense of joy and gratitude and connectedness. This could be the birth of a child. It could be a beautiful sunset that you saw one day. Could be a nice meal that you shared with a loved one. Could be a vacation that you took together. It could be the meeting of your spouse for the first time. Just come up with 3 simple situations in your life. Now we're going to go through a little bit of a practice or a ritual to recall those and really experience them, to connect with that sense of joy and abundance inside of you. So you may want to, as we go through this, just soften your gaze, just look down at the pew and kind of take out the external stimulus. You're welcome to close your eyes if you would like, but bring to mind that first experience. Bring it to mind and picture, where are you? Are you inside? Are you outside? Who are you with? Who are the people around you? Picture that experience in rich detail. Put yourself there and feel the joy of it. Feel the sense of love, gratitude, appreciation, joy. Feel that. And imagine for a moment that you're almost swimming in a river of that feeling. And just reach out and grab a little bit and bring it into your heart. Just bring in some of that joy and goodness into your heart and allow your heart to just fill up with that sense of gratitude for this positive experience that you've had. Now bring to mind your second experience. Once again, picture it in detail. Where are you? Who are you with? And feel the feeling of being present. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the love, sense of possibility, the sense of connection with the world. And once again, almost scoop that up so you can even use your hands and touch your heart and bring that feeling into your heart of abundance and joy and gratitude, and let your heart swell with that feeling. And now bring to mind your third experience. Once again, feel the richness of that experience. Feel the love, feel the gratitude. Let it fill you up with life. And once again, bring that into your heart and let your heart swell and overflow and feel that in your whole body. What does it feel like when you stack up this memory of good thing after good thing after good thing in your life? How does that feel? Do you feel warm in your heart? You feel a sense of energy in your body? Maybe a little tingling in your arms or legs? What does it feel like to know that life is good? In fact, let's say that together. Life is good. Will you say that with me? Life is good. Let's say it again with a little more vigor. Life is good. One more time. Life is good. And now remember that principle that life is not something else, that you are life. And let's say together, I am good. I am good. One more time. I am good. And let's say it a third time to claim that and affirm it. I am good. And as you feel that in your body, allow it to spread to the people around you, to your loved ones, to the people here, part of our community, to all the places in your life where you interact with people. And let's say, I radiate goodness. All together, I radiate goodness. Let's do it again. I radiate goodness. And one more time, I radiate goodness. And so it is. Now recall for a moment that challenging situation that I asked you to think of earlier, where it felt like someone out there was against you in some way, or something was against you. Don't go down that path. Hold on to that radiant goodness, but bring the situation to mind. And how does that situation look and feel different when you are radiating goodness in the world? How does that inform the action that you will take? Because you can still take action. Living as if nothing and no one against you does not mean you ignore everything. It does not mean you're a doormat, as John said last week. You still take action, but you take that action from a place of wholeness and goodness. And so think for a moment how you will respond to that situation from that place of wholeness and goodness. And that is how you live as if nothing and no one is against you. Two things I hope that you take away from this. Number one is the clue. When you've got that feeling of heaviness, when you've got that feeling of anger, frustration, disappointment, hurt, that's your invitation. Because we all have that. We all live in this world where we bump up against things and people and situations, and that happens. And so that's your clue. Oh, I'm up here. I'm getting pushed around by the noise and the wind and the storms of life. And that's not who you are. Who you are is deeper. It's calm. It's abundant. It's joyful. It's radiant. It's good. Let's go back and claim that word that we started at the beginning of the service with. 1, 2, 3. Faith. That is who you are. So let's take that essence of you into our time of meditation and prayer. Some of you have kept your eyes closed. For those of you who haven't, you're welcome to close them or soften your gaze again and turn inside. Turn inside to that place of faith, love, peace, abundance, generosity. That essence of who you are. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just sink down into that truth of you. Sink down into that, and you can relax. Let go of the wind and the waves and the storms of daily life, and be who you are. As you sit in that place, allow the light inside of you to grow brighter radiating through your whole body, extending down through your legs to your toes, letting the light and love spread out through your arms into your fingertips, and up through your head, filling your whole body with love, peace, abundance, gratitude, goodness. And just say to yourself silently, I am good. And take that wisdom, that knowledge, that truth now into a moment of silence. As you bask in that sense of goodness, allow the radiant feeling to extend beyond you, to those in this space that we share together in this community of Unity Palo Alto, and out into the broader community around us, enfolding and encircling and embracing the whole world with love, with peace, with joy. That essence of goodness that is us, that radiates from us, that touches everything that we touch. And we bring to mind anyone in our lives who needs our prayer or who we want to pray for, and affirm this goodness in them. And we encircle them with the sense of love and goodness, and remember that it is in them too. And we see them radiating even more brightly that goodness and love into the world. And we bring to mind all of those in our prayer chest, our world, state, local, and national leaders, seeing them making good decisions and living from that place of brilliance, of love, of abundance. And we see the world acting more and more from that place of goodness. And for this experience of connecting with the divine, of being the divine, of sharing that in the world and seeing the world moving more and more in that direction, we take a deep breath of gratitude and say, thank you, Spirit. And we sing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we return our attention to this space. And we carry that energy with us, that energy of truth, of who we are. And we bring that into the world and we celebrate. One of the ways in which we can celebrate is through our support, where we give our time, our attention, our energy, and our resources. Unity is a self-supporting spiritual community. And for those of you who are coming back on a regular basis, and for those of you who are new, if you feel moved to support Unity, we invite you to do so. There are many ways to support Unity. You can donate. If you're here in person, there's a silver box at the sanctuary, back of the sanctuary. You can put a donation there, a love offering. Or you can donate online. The QR code will take you to the website. If you don't have Wi-Fi, there's a barcode in the back of the pew to connect to Wi-Fi so you can get online and give us a gift of love. But however you give, it's the nature in which you give that matters. It's giving from that place of love and abundance, radiating that out into the world and living more and more from that place. And to celebrate that, we have an affirmation that we say together, which is on the screen, and I invite you to say that all together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
I think you guys are going to recognize this. Here we go. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Come on. I can see all obstacles in my way. That's right. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Come on, you gotta sing this with me. It's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. Here we go. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think we can sing this one more time. So if you can sing it really, really loud one more time, because I want to hear you, all right? Here we go. I can see clearly. I can see. That's what I'm talking about. A little louder, come on. Gone are the dark clouds that have me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. All right. Looks like we're gonna have to bring back Monday night. Yeah.
Thank you, Margot. Thank you, Rusty. Thanks, the new band today. All right, at this time, we want to take a moment to just radiate that goodness out into the world from Unity Palo Alto, from yourselves, and from everything that we all are. Whether you're here in the sanctuary, watching live online, or tuning in later during the week, we are all connected by this experience, this wonderful, fantastic experience that we shared today. All right, let's just take a moment to acknowledge that connection and radiate that out. Feels good. All right, the opportunity to connect and for community extends beyond this service, and we invite you to explore the many opportunities for sacred growth, spiritual service, and celebration here at Unity Palo Alto. The first one is happening today. You want to continue that goodness, that excitement? You can head right on over to Bring Your Own Lunch Bunch. It's the fourth Sunday of the month. After the service, we have icebreakers, topic suggestions, so that you can meet and greet and get to know people better in a super fun way. Next, we have Energy Flow Yoga. I know that I've been sitting on the couch for 3 months and definitely need it. And so this is a great way to experience some connection time, develop strength and flexibility, and the primary focus is meditation. It's not 7 days long and silent, but you'll get a little quick hour of that meditation with the ultimate goal of enlightenment. You'll learn to build an energy activation practice leading to a joyful connection with the universe. Now, this is starting next Sunday. We have the expert right here. On the 30th at 11:30, there's 8 sessions skipping Memorial Day weekend, and the cost is a love offering. And then, lastly, we have the Unity Palo Alto Choir. This is on Thursday nights at 7:30. If you loved the music here and you want more of it, you want to be a part of it, go ahead and contact Margot at choir@unitypaloalto.org. All right, so for these and other opportunities, you can go to unitypaloalto.org and check out our social media channels. There's so many ways to connect with us and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. All right, everybody ready to say we are the good news? You learned the count to 3 already, so ready? 1, 2, 3. We are the good news. Yes, and so it is. All right, this is the fourth Sunday of the month where we get to bless each other. So get those blessing hands warmed up. Put my phone away. And we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now it's time for our song of peace.
One brief announcement before we finish. I neglected to announce that John Riley, our Reverend John Riley, is on vacation this weekend, so that's why he's not here. He will be back next week, and we have part 3 of this talk, Nothing and No One Against You. If you have questions that you want answered, if you have challenges, if you have disbeliefs, if you want to express yourself in any way, you can send a text message. Now, I don't know, Felix, if you could manage to pull this off, but we had a slide like 10 slides ago on how to send a text message. So I don't know if you can do it, but if you can't, in the back of the pew, oh, there it is. Woo! Yes, very good. High five for Felix. You can scan the QR code, and the same QR code is in the pew in front of you, in a card in the pew. So you can scan it, you can get on the Unity text list, it's going to ask for your name and so on. And once you do so, text in your question, and we'll be answering those next Sunday. And now, thank you. Now we're going to skip back the next 10 slides to get to our prayer of protection. He's a master. All together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Shine your light bright. Thank you.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am, in the land of I am, I'm more than I have been, all that I have been. In the land of I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I
Thank you, Russell. It was a lot of fun for me, man. I just watch you.